Hi everyone, I'm Elfverson and this is Confidence Leads to Success. As you know, I love bringing to you inspirational women, and I have got someone in this room with me who always inspires me. She is phenomenal. Mia Elfverson is a business vlog expert and the founder of the Vlog Academy. She is supporting thousands of people to communicate better on video, get more confident in front of the camera and connect on a deeper level with a larger audience. She has educated at Stockholm Film School, New York Film Academy and New York University with her 25 years of experience in high-end international film and video production. She is helping you. If you feel like you need help to be in front of the camera, Me is your person. Hello, Me, welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having me, and thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You are, honestly, I remember listening one of your talks. Me is a regular keynote speaker and panelist at so many business conferences, and I happen to be in one of them. And I remember you were sharing your story of how you started in TV, and would you like to share that with us?
It's such a long time ago, but yeah, I mean, I just went straight into the biggest TV production company, which was the Swedish television at the time. I'm Swedish, and I wanted to work in production, and I had no idea really what it meant and where it was done or how or with whom. So I went into the only place I knew, which was the Swedish television, equivalent to BBC really. And I said, hello, I'm Me. Can I work here, please? And clearly they were so desperate for someone. I did end up getting a job there after a
I'm
week.
sure it wasn't that the only reason. I'm sure they've seen the power and your skill to accept it. I don't think.
I had no skills. I was fresh out of school. I had no knowledge about anything. I didn't know the difference between a fax machine and telex, a telefax and
Actually, I don't still know the difference.
No, well, you don't need to anymore. But in those days, everything was done by fax. And no emails really started coming. So it was a long, long time ago, but I was very fortunate to get in. I worked in an amazing department, the drama department, and did get a lot of experience. And then I went on to get my education that I should have had and started working in production more seriously.
So that's really the right beginning for you with...
It was in a way. I don't know if I could ever have gotten in later, to be honest, to the Swedish television. And it was an amazing start. I was extremely fortunate to just have the to have a chance to get in there. The timing was right, and they did need someone. So, and I could do. I did it. I did a really good job at what I was doing. But then I wanted to have a solid foundation, and I went to Stockholm Film School, and I went to the university, and then I continued on to New York Film Academy. Okay. So yeah, much more solid foundation to stand on once I started working more seriously in production.
This is great. Well, since when you decided to help people to be more confident in front of the camera? Because I mean, I still am working on it myself. And why do you think it's very important for businesses, especially?
Well, first of all, video is the most powerful online marketing tool you can have as a business at the moment. And we've obviously seen a massive boom and also shift, of course, during the pandemic when we didn't have any options. So, but already before then, video was a very strong marketing format. So for a business to have video is going to push them forward on social media. Okay, in social media on platforms. It's a great tool if you want your website to rank higher, because YouTube is part of Google's family. So it's owned by Google. So if you're on YouTube, everything you do on YouTube is going to be seen by Google. So it's a very, very important place to be actually as a business if you're dependent on ranking on Google. But it's all about visibility these days on social media if you run a business. Otherwise, you're going to disappear unless, of course, you've built up your clientele a different way, or if you're extremely lucky. So I support people with confidence, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, but also to get clarity on their content, because a lot of people are worried that they don't have enough good quality content to share, or some people have too much and they don't know where to start. And then in the end, it is actually about consistency. So it's about keeping it up and keep going with it all. So that's what I do. And I support business owners and organizations, both startups and small business owners to massive international companies and organizations. So I really like the mixture, actually, to be involved in both.
You have mastermind groups as well, haven't you? Master course and members group
That's right. So I've got online training courses, and I am just I've launched my new updated master course, which is, oh, well, I obviously made it, but I think it's amazing.
Of course it is.
I'm really proud of it. I think it's going to be good. It's really helpful if people really does need that confidence on all levels, but also to create the consistency. It's the foundation for it's the 3 pillars I work with. It's confidence, clarity, and consistency. And I've also got a group which is called Rise and Shine, and to give accountability and weekly support with updates and tasks and ideas and inspirations for social media and video production. Really
so good. I mean, it's so good to have these kind of platforms. What I'm going to ask you, actually, a lot of people, when it comes to being in front of the camera, it's not just about knowing what to do and, like you were saying, having the consistency. And do you think so many people don't want to stand in front of it in case they put in a spot?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's one of the biggest fears people have. I think that there's a fear of other people judging them and saying you don't know what you're talking about. A lot is about the looks. So people think they're not pretty enough or good looking enough. And that's really sad, because it's got nothing to do with that, unless you are, you know, a bikini model or something like that. But if you're an accountant or a graphic designer or a Pilates teacher, it doesn't matter what you look like. Okay, you need to be a little bit fit, perhaps, if you're a PT, but it's the expertise. For me, it's all about the expertise people can share. To empower other people, to support other people with their knowledge. So that's the most important part, really, to grow as well for people as an expert in their field, is to keep consistently sharing their expertise.
So when it comes to sharing their expertise, sometimes people find it really difficult to articulate their knowledge. Especially when they're in front of the camera, because everything seems to go, you kind of forget the words. What were you going to say? I mean, to be honest, for me, as you know, I'm Turkish and English is my second language. I've only been speaking in English 14 years. So, and for such a long time, I felt embarrassed to stand and talk to somebody, and having to do these through virtual platforms actually has given me so much more confidence.
I've really noticed. You've been amazing, a fantastic journey to confidence. And it's been wonderful to see you do that. And really, and I think what obviously has helped you is that you are talking about what you're passionate about. You are talking about your expertise. You are showing what you've got in, and you only bring into your shop, for example, if you do a video about your garments, things that you love. So it's a joy to share that, right?
That's right. So if you're sharing your passion, it's not as hard, is it?
Exactly. And that's what I do. And I had to do the same journey as you did. I'm an immigrant. I am Swedish. English is my second language. I was petrified when I started, but something that really helped me was, because obviously I came from really high-end film production, and I was working with these top teams who were shooting in Hollywood and all over the world.
Wow.
But when I really gathered that I'm not doing it for them, they're not my audience, they're not my clients, it's not for them, it just blew away. And when you start going out there and you see the result that you create, that you have managed to support someone, to shift something for them, that's incredibly powerful. And helpful to continue, because you just want to support even more people. So that's the joy of it. That's the biggest, return you get from it, is to hear that you've actually someone has had a transformation thanks to what you're doing.
That is so true. I mean, I remember when I did one of these first time round, I didn't even know where to put my camera. It was far too high. You could only see top part of my head, and I was so nervous. My voice was like this, and I just felt. And then I thought to myself, this isn't about me anymore. It is beyond me now. So I don't actually care if I make a mistake. I don't actually care if I ask the wrong question at times. And I always trust the woman I'm standing with is not going to judge me, or will be there to actually help me, because like you say, we rise and shine together.
Absolutely. You are bang on there. And I think very few, I mean, that's the importance with only going out there. I talk a lot about authenticity and being aligned. So your core values in yourself and your brand, especially if you are your own brand, that they are aligned, because then you do have the security of always speaking from your heart and being authentic. It's when you go outside that, which a lot of people do, because we see a lot of influencers online, right, on Instagram and YouTube. And they are these super perfect people with brilliant bodies, and they're traveling around the world to the most beautiful places. And we think that we need to be them. And we kind of try to be them a little bit, but it doesn't work. And that's when people... It's
not consistent, like you say. It's not consistent.
Yeah. So once you have found that balance in yourself between your core values and your brand values, it's so much easier, because you will always be true. And no one can really say that you're wrong then. And then, of course, you're only going to share things that you're knowledgeable about. You're not going to start talking about something you don't know about. So it will all come together. Then the practicalities, it's about practicing. And of course, I have tools for this, and I have systems, and I have templates, and help people to really look at everything in bite-sized chunks and with support. To analyze and to progress. So that's where my support comes in.
That was going to be my next question, actually. Are you actually helping? Because so many of us don't actually know where to even begin when it comes to doing this. So I was going to ask you exactly that question. So you actually help them also find their values and brand values and align it with their authentic selves.
Yeah, so my master course, I think the Vlog Academy, which is my company, is kind of known for being a provider of a very inclusive provider of both business, sort of, because it's business strategy in the bottom of it, but it's also very holistic. So with this whole authenticity and speaking with your own voice, even if that's a brand voice that is resonating with your own being, that's what I find is really important. So we have a lot of hardcore business training courses, and it's all about, getting out there and hustling and selling and being out there and being really, really bold and loud. And for my clientele, it doesn't really work. And it doesn't work for me personally either. So we seek a lot of health advice to keep our body and mind in balance. And we've learned a lot more about that during the pandemic as well. But what I'm trying to do is to join this with your business, so that your business feels balanced as well. So not just the work-life balance, but actually your business is healthy. So we're starting from deep inside, building up your confidence physically from the inside and out. And that's why I call my program and my course a bit more holistic, because it's working on all of it. The whole
it really
picture.
comes down to you having, as a person, having confidence in yourself and in your beliefs and in your values.
Absolutely. I mean,
It gives
of course,
you confidence to be, you don't mind, I think I'm going to give example from myself. It takes a long time to accept yourself and not worry about what others are going to think of me and what they're going to tell about me. That worry is not even the truth. We don't even know if it's the truth. It's our perception of others.
Exactly. We call that the ego in many other contexts. And what we're doing is basically we're putting up a shield to protect ourselves. But what it does is it's reflecting our own ideas and thoughts. It's actually not looking at reality, as you say. We are just reflecting our concerns and our worry. So it's when we peel that layer off and we are just ourselves, that's when we are actually going to feel more confident, strangely enough. So it can just be a barrier rather than a shield, which we think it is.
I love it. Oh my God, this is so true, ladies. Honestly, I mean, confidence leads to success is my interview series name, because I know how much it helps for someone's presence in their business, in their personal life. If you have the confidence in yourself and everything you say and you do, it really reflects and it gives that energy out, and then you suddenly create this trust, and that trust in your business and in you end up reflecting into your bank account.
Absolutely, it really, really does. It does. Really so it's worth taking that whole journey, and I started very, very early on, even with people who have been established for a while, because I think it's really important to know why we are in business. And you'd be surprised how many people haven't actually really thought through why they are working. How much do they work? What are they working towards? Is it to pay back their mortgage? Is it to cut down on 1 day a week working time, so they only work 4 days a week? Is it to allow for their partner to work less? Or is it to leave a legacy for their children? A lot of people don't actually think through, and they're just working. And money as such doesn't make us happier the more we have. It's always in relation to what we want to do with it. So it's very important to start with a purpose, both for why you are working, what you want to do. And this comes back later on in each video you create, each time you share something on social media or in your marketing campaign. What is the purpose for that? What is it that you want in return? What is it building up towards? So it's all part of a pattern of the bigger puzzle.
Oh my God, this is like a mastermind session, ladies. If you're listening, I bet you all got your notepads out now writing. What did she say? Reverse. Oh my God, so much golden nuggets. Thank you so much, Mi. Oh, I love talking to you.
Great pleasure. And I also wanted to mention something about women, since it's a female, largely, I guess, a female audience.
Yes.
And one of the reasons I actually have a sub-brand, which is called iStorm, which is just for women. And the reason I created that was when I was doing larger workshops with big companies, and there was a mixture of men and women in the group. And when it was time to start the camera and get in front of the camera and set up the lights and everything, all the men stepped forward and grabbed the kit, and all the women took a step back. And that was such an incredibly saddening and unbelievable experience to see this again and again and again. So none, even if they had exactly the same title, they had the same job, they had the same education, they did the same thing at work, women were more reluctant to go in front of the camera. So I saw that women had different needs. They had different questions, they had different fears, they had different blocks. So there was a place for training catering just for women. And that was really important, and still is really, really important for me to work with women in a slightly different way. But I do encourage women to use video as a communication and marketing tool, because women are brilliant at sharing authentic stories and expertise, because women have traditionally, all through existence, being in a support position, and therefore we want to help. And by creating regular videos, you don't have to sell yourself in the same way as if you're just doing a one-off advertisement video or commercial. You can actually just share beautiful, helpful, supporting material, which is much easier. So it's worth getting more confident in front of the camera and step forward with your expertise.
Oh, I love that. We really need more courageous women in entrepreneurial world. More women to stand up for themselves, stand up in every part of business world, because the entrepreneurial world seems to be designed for male.
It has been, but it's
we are changing,
and we are changing
yes.
it from the inside.
Yes.
And I also think that as women in the Western world, in the modern times, we almost owe it to our sisters and friends in other parts of the world where women still can't work, when they're not allowed to step forward, and they're not allowed to do what they want like we are. And we have, you and me have been extremely fortunate to grow up, and you've moved out on a country that can be difficult into a world that is very free in that respect. So it's very sad when we still see women who could be doing more, and they're held back by values that are in the past, really, and not in our world where we live, in our nation, really.
Yeah. I love your mission, Me. It's so good, because we need to really make a difference and have that ripple effect of what we can achieve, one woman at a time.
It does have an important ripple effect, and we need to be represented throughout society in every part and in every area. So yeah, one step at a time, one step forward, one step up, and we will get there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mia. I've got one question to ask you, and then I will let you free. I know you're so busy. I always ask this question to everyone I interview, because it's always similar, but not ever the same. What does confidence mean to you?
That's one of my questions in my course, actually, so I can describe what confidence means normally.
Yay! You got a treat, ladies. Listen.
Yeah, I think that most people see confidence as not being afraid, but the confidence can be very small as well. It doesn't have to be roaring. It can be very internal. It can be very small, and it can make you just take that step forward that previously or with someone else they wouldn't have done. So confidence is comfort. I think it's a comforting feeling that you trust that things will be okay. You trust yourself that you can probably do it. And once you think that you probably can do it and you go ahead, most of the time you can do it and you can pull it off.
Love it. Thank you so much, Me. You're amazing, and all that you do for women, us in the world.
And likewise, my darling, thank you so much for having me.
Keep doing it.
And I hope your interviews will fly around the world, because a lot of women will be supported by them.
Thank you so much. Ladies, I will be sharing all the details of Me's course and how you can connect with her and learn to be more confident in front of the camera, so you can boost yourself, boost your business, and be a success story. So hope to see you on the next episode. Take care, everyone.